Man, so what I love about Fiji was the people, how patient and accepting they were. And I mean, it's been 7 years and I feel like I have a little bit of the language left. But I also feel like once I get starting talking to people from Fiji again, the language just kind of flows back because I don't feel pressured to have it perfect. I mean, to me, Fijian's always been more of a storytelling language. So that coupled with how patient everyone is, syntax doesn't super matter, at least for a vulagi like me, huh? See, I was born in Fiji. I used to be dark, but then I showered with some granola, then I became white, eh? What else? Man, the weather there was pretty great. I was always out in the bush and just constant wind breeze and 85 degrees constantly, 100% humidity, and I loved it. I mean, I've put on a lot of weight since I've been home. It's mostly because I don't eat super well. I miss the fish from Fiji. I miss the tapioca and the dalo and tavatali na namu lolo, patake na koli. And man, it's kind of hard to describe what living in Fiji, how it impacted my life. I love telling stories about Fiji. I love sharing my experiences there, but when I'm sat down in front of a camera as I am now, it's a little, I don't know, kind of hard to put it into words, but yeah, I served an LDS mission there, so 2 years. Most missionaries, they just go out and knock on doors all day, every day for 2 years. And I'm really glad I didn't have to do that because you just go and, I mean, even if people aren't really interested in the message, we're able to sit down and just talk about the gospel, talk about Christ and all these fantastic things. I remember my first area in the island of Luvuka, the town of Ovalau. I was so homesick. I mean, it's the first time I've been that far away from home. I mean, I never really thought of myself as someone who needed to be home, needed to be around family, but when you're halfway around the world and there's no one that I'm familiar with, it was tough. It was brutal. But I remember specifically there's a member of the church, Sister Nunia, and she kind of always took me in, always kind of fussed over me, and always tried her best to make me feel comfortable in this new country, in this new culture, learning this new language that I felt like I was kind of understanding in the MTC, and then as soon as I got to Fiji, it just, man, kind of threw me for a loop. Luvuka was pretty great. My second, or my favorite area, I should say, was Savu, the hidden paradise of Fiji. Man, really loved spending time with the people there. Remember spending time with Vatu and Sisi and their family, and Timothy and Luisa and Teresa and Amelie, and it was really cool. I got to see Amelie came on her mission here to Utah, to Salt Lake, and so I got to visit with her. It was really cool. When I was going around to all the different sisters trying to find her, they're like, "Oh, Sister Talatoka, I love her." I'm like, "Yeah, that's my convert." I mean, yeah, she did it all herself. first question she asked in the very first lesson was how I knew that Thomas S. Monson was a prophet of God. And just from her being able to like question and challenge things and really trying to find the answers, I was pretty excited about that, and I was really hoping that she would get baptized, and she did. Man, so I could go on and on about Fiji. I miss the Milo and the bisquete. Speaking of bisquete, man, it reminds me of the Rotumans, how the missionaries came out and gave them biscuits, and then they're running out. They're like, man, what do we do? So they planted the bisquete, and it absorbed the water. So when they looked at it, they saw it was growing, and they're like, the bisquete level. There was a Rotuman family in Itovo that I always spend time with, Brother Amoy and his son Graham. And they, I loved bringing up that story with them. And then they'd punish me in possibly the worst / best way. First, they'd give me a big old plate of food and finish that. Then they'd give me seconds and I'd finish that. And then they'd give me like 3 bowls of ice cream. And they'd be like, oh, the Jenkins can't leave until you finish your ice cream. Which, I mean, it was ice cream, it was delicious, but I was so full. It was just starting to hurt so much. But I didn't want to shy away from that challenge, you know, but eventually I got to the point where I was like, I'm going to throw up, and kept eating. I think I finally got that bowl down. But I mean, I hear stories from missionaries in other countries. They get like shot at or threatened or stabbed. And me, I get fed ice cream until I want to throw up. So, oh, and also, man, remember how I talked about tracting? Didn't super happen a lot in Fiji, because you'd go over to members' houses and they'd always have a family member over, and they'd take the lessons, and then you could go over to like different friends of theirs or family of theirs, or they'd come over to their house. So really, tracting, as in door to door, didn't so much happen for me. I mean, we did walk from appointment to appointment, but generally that walking was along the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, which is beautiful. My last area was Rambi, and that place is so beautiful. I mean, the locals always refer to it as "remember a beautiful island." That's how you spell Rambi. And I remember just paid about 50 cents for a coconut. I was just drinking coconut water, which is the best. It's so delicious. And then I was just walking down the street with my companion to our next appointment, and realized that that is the American ideal for a vacation. I mean, walking down the Pacific Ocean, drinking a coconut with breeze in my face, it's like, people pay thousands and thousands of dollars, and here I was. I mean, I was paying out of pocket to be there to serve people, but that was a pretty nice perk. That was a really fun time in my life. I feel like it really helped me to gain perspective on life. There's a lot of service that I did, a lot of things that I learned from the Fijian people that I would never have been able to learn unless I had gone on that LDS mission. And I mean, I also feel that I got blessed from my Father in heaven as well for putting my life on hold for 2 years. To me, it really wasn't that big of a sacrifice, because my life wasn't really going anywhere anyways. And putting that on hold, going to Fiji and serving, it really was a springboard into everything good that's happened in my life. And now, I mean, recently I've been kind of getting beat down by life, but talking about this reminds me of Fiji, reminds me of how awesome it was, kind of puts that motivation back in me, you know?